have problems with teacher safety. We have student-to-student violence. We have student-to-teacher violence, and the other way around. How would you address the safety issues in LAUSD? Again, the limit is 1 minute, and it is 8:30. So I want to remind everybody, we're going over our time.
The best way to secure our schools is to have parents involved in the schools. They are the ones that are going to be changing that. Regardless of how many police do we put in the school sites, if the parents are involved in the school, believe me, the student behave. I have seen it at the high school level. Okay, so parents, we need you at the high school level there, and if you participate, we're going to change those issues that we're facing right now.
Thank you.
And this is clearly one of those areas where the adage that it takes a village is apropos. You know, we need parental engagement, we need community engagement, and we need to find solutions, because some of the alternatives to the public school system kick out all the students that are undesirable, pepper spray students and stuff. And that's not the answer either, because all students need to have the opportunity for an education. So we need to find something that's not perpetuating more violence from the police or from security, but also balancing that with student safety. And that's something that we need to have a long dialogue and work together to come to.
Well, capitalism is very violent and brutal. And I think that solidarity comes from organizing, fighting together, shoulder to shoulder. You think about young people who are involved in political struggles. A lot of people here were involved in the Chicano movement. And you think about, where were the gangs, if someone feels like they have a stake in their future, if they have a stake in their fight and changing their future, changing their lives, you can start to deal with some of these questions. So I think organizing and people getting involved in fights and political struggle that can start to change their lives forever.
Most definitely education, bullying education, character education, training, and most definitely having the parents in the schools, because you're not going to act up too much with mama right there telling you to sit there, you know what I'm saying? So parents in the school, which actually was a parent at the door today when we went for our, we had ELAC meeting, and there was a parent right there. So most definitely all of that, and continuing to keep the campus police, continuing to keep our deans and our safety people, again, training them though that they're not there to, they're there to work with our kids and like Robert said, not lock our kids up, but work with them to help keep everyone safe. So all those entities all involved in there, because safety is very important. Because if a kid is scared to go to school because they might get bullied or something, that's stopping their education.
Well, first of all, I don't know that our schools are unsafe and violent. I find our schools to be safe harbors in many cases in terms of children feeling safe. But in terms of any violence or bullying that students are feeling, part of the pressure for teachers is that we have to focus so much on preparing them for tests that it's hard for us to stop and talk about things that children are feeling every day and address those issues in a comprehensive manner. So again, it has to go back to this obsession with testing and preparing kids for testing at all costs and reducing that so we have time to speak and our students have time to speak about issues that are important to them.
As was just said, our children are safe for the most part in schools. But the perception often is not that. And I would say that parents who don't believe that their kids are safe aren't going to be sending their kids to school. Because in the end, the schools are in charge of our most important possession. Everything we hold dear in the world is in that small person. We trust the schools to do a good job. And for the most part, they do. We hear the exceptions. But The piece that needs to be, and we said this earlier at this table, is bringing all the people together in the village that it takes to raise our children. That's how we create a safety plan that works, and there's nothing more important than safety of children.
In regard to what Scott just said, I think that safety is one of our prime responsibilities and one of the most important factors of whether our kids learn or not. I think we need to make sure that there are discipline plans in place in the schools that have consequences. I think we need to go back to funding psychologists, to funding counselors, where they can have an impact with the students and they're able to ask those questions and find out what's going on to help avoid the violence that could come from that. I think we need school-wide training where every employee, every person that's involved in that school understands and can work collaboratively in order to help curb violence that's in the class. And I think that we need administrators who have classroom experience so they can understand what it is and how to implement these changes so that there isn't violence in the schools.
Thank you. The next question deals with curriculum, and specifically the opportunity to bring Chicano studies to LAUSD as a way to motivate our students, or ethnic studies to be more inclusive. So 30 seconds, what are your thoughts?
I think it's very important for us to be more inclusive in the type of education that our students are receiving. I think California especially, we're a melting pot of many different cultures, and it's important for our students in order for them to understand the true history of our state, to see the different individuals who were a part of it, who impacted it, and how that in turn affects our education.
I certainly support this on the basis of cultural relevance. I think this is critical. This is the population that we have. Any ethnic studies group here in Koreatown, we probably need to take a look at Korean studies programs, or Asian studies, or whatever we're going to call it. Any elective class that draws a child into a classroom by their own volition is a program we need to have that brings in that child.
I'm already doing it.
I preach this all the time, that as a student learns their culture, know where they came from, and know their history, that helps them on meeting and getting along with everyone else. It's because you know who you are. You have that pride of where you came from and who you are, and it helps you to get along with all the other, ethnicities. And I also see a gentleman, raise your hand right there with Pat. He's always at the school board meeting. You raise your hand for me, please? He's always talking about making sure we have different ethnic studies in our school. Mexican studies, okay.
I think Chicano Black studies are very important. It's where young people can learn about struggles and the very important fights. So I think definitely support Chicano Black studies.
I would encourage anyone that hasn't seen Precious Knowledge to rent that movie and see it, because it's highly proven research based. That offering ethnic studies, offering heritage languages to students actually engages them, empowers them. It's funny because we have a mayor that talks about he's the education mayor. They just eliminated the ethnic studies class from Santee, and it's a travesty. We need to be encouraged. See, this is what we need to replace standardized testing with ethnic studies and heritage languages.
As a world language teacher, I believe in the different ethnicities that we have, and respect that by providing the opportunities to the students to reflect in their cultures, where they are coming from, or their parents came from, is a great opportunity to make this country better. And I believe that LAUSD is missing that component. 60% almost of the student population is Latino, and we are not supporting that. And that will be an issue that is close to my heart, and I will change that into the policies that we are having at the district level.
We're going to leave tonight with 2 words from you, and what I want to know is, that is not or has not already happened? 2 words.
2 words.
2 words. Two words.
God bless America, I guess.
Critical thinking.
Wait, what?
Critical thinking.
Organize and mobilize.
Customer service.
Power to the people.
I like that one too.
I'm sorry, I'm going to use more than 2 words.
No, 2 words, Isabel.
We need to get somebody elected.
2 words.
Respect parents.
Respect